Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's Waterdeep Dragon Heist. It feels like it's been 1,000 years, or whatever you call a year in the Forgotten Realms.
I think they're called a year.
No, there's gotta be a goofy name for them, like a 300 day or something. But hello, everybody. Welcome back.
Welcome to Flump Day.
That's right. Yeah, I haven't seen you in a floon. So we're back. I've missed you. How is everybody?
I had like a whole month with no floon, and it was nice until now.
I hate to remind you that it was not a full month. It just felt that way because floon is so annoying.
Didn't I say like a whole month? The like is there because I'm inaccurate.
All right.
That was a on purpose like. That wasn't just a I'm from California like.
I see.
Yeah.
I did a voice recently where I was making fun of someone who was being stupid, and I realized halfway through I was just doing the floon voice. Apparently floon is just the voice I do when I need a voice of someone who sounds like an idiot. Well, I'm sure our favorite noble will make an appearance at some point or another. But how has everybody been? What you been up to, everybody? We got new locations, we got new haircuts. It's a whole new year. Shit's going crazy. Lauren, looking excellent. I liked your photos on Twitter. Good haircut. I feel like I've said that more than...
Fuck this.
Yeah.
I saw Spider-Verse.
Yeah, I was gonna say I saw that. I saw the ramp up of hair tweet.
I was like, oh no, man, now I really want it. So next, I'm working my way up to the full shave. I'm not quite there yet.
You hear that, kids? You don't need someone to get their hands stuck to your hair in order to have a cool haircut. You could just do a cool haircut.
So yeah, that was my December. I saw Spider-Verse, and then Christmas happened.
Nice. Well, I'm glad that over the break you saw Into the Spider-Verse and not like Demolition Man, because you'd look very different now.
I did think about going to see Mary Poppins, so that could have also, that could have gone very differently as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, your hair would be very different if it had been Mary Poppins
The thing
inspired.
is it's harder to grow it than it is to just cut it off.
That's true.
That is certainly true. Yes.
One takes time.
Yeah.
More so.
I haven't seen that Mary Poppins jam. I mean, I do like movies about superheroes with weird origins. So it's, yeah. Was it good? Was it a good one?
I haven't seen it.
It very much had the flavor of the original Mary Poppins. There was a bit more CGI, obviously, because they have that now. I feel like the CGI wasn't too obtrusive. There was an early sequence where I was like, oh my God, like, please stop. I just want like crappy two-dimensional characters.
I heard that she was gonna help fight Thanos in the next Avengers movie.
I think she'd do a good job with that.
Yeah, I feel like if I had to put money on Mary Poppins or Thanos, I would probably.
The thing is she's really good with entitled little boys. So
right, which
I think
Thanos
she'd do great.
is the most of those. Yeah, I hear that.
Nice.
Yeah. So besides being inspired by movies for haircut purposes, what did you get up to? Do anything cool on your holiday break?
No, I went to Portland, which is where my family's based. So that was a good chunk of the time. We got Russian tea, which is quite fancy.
Yeah.
Those big, tiny sandwiches, lots of little cakes.
Yep.
Feel like a giant.
Yeah. I've actually seen photos of the like fancy Russian tea situation, and it's pretty. Yeah,
it's pretty snazzy. That was like our family Christmas present to our family.
That's cool. Is this because you have like Russian nobility in your family history somewhere, or is it just like a thing that y'all do?
No, we all left because of the pogroms. So less in the like the Russians liking our family. There's a little more persecution in our history. My parents did get super into genealogy, and they're like looking ship manifests from 1940.
Nice.
My mom did that in we're going to get ancestry, like DNA tested. Everybody in my family pretty much, except for me. I'm just like, you all already did it. Why do I need to do it?
Yeah, I'm like one step removed from what you did.
And she got like my grandpa and herself and my sister and my uncles, like got them all to do it. And so I'm like, I'm some of these things.
Yeah, I did one of those ancestry things, and they sent me an email with a picture of a loaf of Wonder Bread and a jar of mayonnaise, and I was like, "Cool,
That's me.
Good to know. Thanks."
That's what you are. Yeah, I'm just all of Europe in a mosh pit. That's just it. There's nothing special.
Sick. There'd be a big mosh pit.
Yeah. We did find out that, like many North American white people, the story of having a Native American Indian in our background was fucking bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a lie that a lot of people in
a lot
America
of people
like
tell
to
that lie. Yeah. But at least now I know that it's a lie.
Yeah.
So
yeah, the reason that I asked Lauren about your Russian ancestry is because as Chad pointed out, I thought it's possible that you might be secret nobility.
Could be secret nobility.
Yeah.
I have a friend who's secret nobility.
Nice.
They left for that reason. It's a lot of leaving Russia.
Yeah, it's a lot of reasons to leave Russia.
Yeah, it's the clean house. There's some big changes back.
My family is very, very Jewish, all the way up and down,
just all the way
in every direction,
just wherever you look. Yeah. Yeah.
And the Catholics turned out they were Jewish. We were like, oh, okay, cool.
It's complicated. It's complicated stuff,
really
especially if you live in Russia. Yep. Elf, we talked about this yesterday, but how are your new living digs? Are you having a nice time?
Oh, it's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
This place that I live, this domicile in which I reside, has stairs. So it's been more of like to go to the kitchen, I have to go downstairs and then come back upstairs. It's like more of a distance, which I think is probably good because I spend my whole life right here.
Yep. Are you on the same floor as, like, how is yours? Because for me, I have stairs in my joint too, and it's basically everything is upstairs, and then downstairs is just the kitchen and the way out of the house. So
for us, it's like we have this room, and then there's like a hallway that leads downstairs, and there's another room that's like our roommate's room, obviously upstairs, and the bathroom is up here.
Right. So kind of like mine.
And then downstairs is like this big living lounging room area, another room, and the kitchen, like all sort of like separated out.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is Edmonton, so I can afford a place that has multiple rooms.
We talked about this. Do you want to tell everybody you're paying for 2 apartments?
So here's the deal, friends.
Let's all get ready to be upset.
I live in Edmonton, Alberta, the fucking ass end of nowhere, in Canada. And I'm paying 2 rents right now because my lease doesn't run out on the other place I was living until May. I'm paying 2 rents. And those 2 rents combined are $800.
800 Canadian. We had this conversation yesterday before our other game, and it broke my brain. Yeah. So I'm just gonna,
like a portion of a larger rent.
I'm just gonna move to Edmonton and buy 4 houses just because I can.
See, the thing is like the trade-off for the cheap rent is living in Edmonton.
Look, I'm paying half of one and a third of another, so it is cut down quite a lot. But each of them is only about $1,000 rent, like individually. So.
When I lived in Calgary, I lived in a 2-bedroom apartment, and it was like $650 total. So I remember Alberta. Well, good. I'm glad that you have such an affordable living space.
As soon as my rent is up on the other one, I'll only be paying $300 a month, which is
sick.
It's
a windfall.
That's so little.
Good.
Yeah.
So good.
That's good.
Yeah.
This is the thing you
might
forget.
be able to get a closet for that much in Seattle a month.
That's why I live in butt-fuck nowhere.
I looked out and I've got a pretty good apartment for the price I pay, but it's still more than both of your rents.
I was definitely thinking like it would be cool to live where other streamers live so I could do stuff and like hang out and be cool and like be in those places where all the other people are. And then I realized I cannot afford it because I am a streamer on the edge of being even remotely surviving anyway.
You know what? Edmonton has an airport, and that's all that matters. You can get from wherever you are to somewhere where all of that stuff happens.
It's true. As
long as you've got some interesting stuff kind of near you that you can walk to. If you have a grocery store, you're settled because you got the whole internet. Look, here we are. So we're here doing it. I will say this about Edmonton. There's this website on the internet where people ask questions and other people answer them. And I get a digest one of like every day they send me like an interesting one, a popular question or whatever. Yeah. And a few days ago, the question was, why is Edmonton so terrible? Which I thought was pretty fun. I almost forwarded it to you, but I thought, it's fine.
There are many reasons.
Yeah, but paying expensive rent is not one of those reasons.
No, it being expensive is certainly not one of those reasons, especially now that the oil stuff is like bad.
Yeah, so. That's true. Yeah. Just goes to show there are lots of different places to live in the world, and some of them not that expensive by comparison. I feel like that's the thing, right? Like
everybody who's interesting and poor move to Edmonton and we'll hang out.
Sick. Yeah. I mean, that's how, but the problem is the way that works is that the interesting people who cannot afford to live in the big city all move to one place. Then the obnoxious rich people are like, hey, all the cool people live over there. Let's go over there and buy up all this land. Then they make it really expensive, and then all the cool people have to go somewhere else. Yeah, it's yep, it happens. It's a bullshit thing. But for now, keep that Edmontonian secret and enjoy it.
I'll do my best.
Yep. Blue Jay, how are your holidays? Did you have a nice time?
Surprisingly, yes. I went to visit my family, which is always hit or miss, or like really bad miss. It depends.
Hit, miss, or critical miss.
Yeah, this time it was pretty good. I have 3 nieces, and because I was new, they all swarmed me. But they were pretty okay. They're of an age where, for the most part, they're not horribly annoying. And the tiny one, she's like 2. The way that she entertained herself is she kept jumping off of furniture onto like pillows and things, and it was just like, something really bad could happen. I'm just gonna, like, everyone's cool with this? Okay, let's just watch this tiny child jump off of furniture. This is fine. So it was, dangerous, living on the edge right there.
Living on the edge of a child swarm.
Well, I mean, like, it went well is the good thing. And also I got to, I bought one of my nieces because I got all their presents at the Pacific Science Center because I wanted to support science and museums and stuff. Yes.
There's a very exuberant, just the word science.
Well, there's two ways to spell science, with the exclamation mark and without. That was clearly the
that
one.
Was with the exclamation mark.
Like 3.
It was good. It was good. But yeah, I got one of them a dinosaur skull excavation kit.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I really got this for myself. But here, it's for you. Let's do it together. And it was super fun. Until the end, when she didn't want to like finish it. She wanted to play with it while it was still dirty. And I was like, no, we have to clean this dinosaur skull.
Yeah, and then you took it away from her and you put it in a museum and you're like, now look at it. Don't touch it. It's not for you. Yeah. Science.
And then I went and hung out with a huge nerd for New Year's, and it was whatever. So
yeah. Well, you can't win them all. Dave, did you get any good presents for Christmas? Did you get any sweet presents? Did you get any video games? What do you do? What's going on? Tell me about your Christmas, Dave. Do you have an English Christmas? Is there anything special that people from England do for? Wait, you don't even have Santa Claus. You have Father Christmas, don't you?
That was a lot of fucking questions.
Yeah, man. Like really go. Pick them.
All right, here we go. Did I get any nice presents? Yes. Did I get any video games? I got exactly 2.
Do
we do anything special in England for Christmas? A lot of people watch the Queen's speech, but I could honestly give less of a fuck.
Yeah, we do that. We do that here. We do that here too.
Not anymore. America has taken over the entire world in terms of like culture. So we just get Santa now as well. It used to be Father Christmas when I was a child, but I'm not anymore.
See, Dave, I didn't get any presents for Christmas. So, because I'm an old fart.
I thought the rule was in England that Father Christmas and his assistant, Mr. Tumnus, come out of your wardrobe, and then there's something about Turkish Delight.
No.
And then Naughty is there also, and then you get on a double-decker bus.
I've played Mr. Tumnus in a play.
Dave,
so you're not entirely wrong.
Dave, can you please get video of that and put it on the internet?
At least a picture.
You
know what? I'll help you make a Mr. Tumnus cosplay.
If it exists, I'll find it. I don't know.
It's okay, Lauren's got you. I can hook you up.
We can pretend it existed. We'll stage it. I'll find some children.
I have an app where it'll look like it was on VHS.
Oh
wait, you're a baby. We'll have to get one that looks like it's on DVD.
There was videos when I was a child. I mean, had to learn to fake cry on stage,
and I'm
really, really bad at it. So if that's that bit, is
perfect. Execute human emotion, but pretend to be a satyr or whatever.
You've got to be really loud, but you cry quietly. So you gotta like cry quietly loudly, because if you cry loudly, it just sounds like banshee noises.
True. Acting advice from Dave.
Acting is hard. I did still get an A star in my drama though at A level.
Nice.
So pretty okay. Pretty okay at the acting.
Oh, you did your A levels when they had A stars.
Yeah, I think. Wait, no, did I get it from my GC? I don't remember anymore. It was a long time ago.
You are a baby.
I was gonna say we all have to remember that Dave was born in like 1999. So
1992. I'm like less than a year.
Dave was born in like 2000, you guys. So
mm-hmm.
I'm a
I
millennial.
thought he was born in 2018.
I just saw that people have decided that instead of calling people millennials, you should call them Advent children. Oh, I'm super into that.
I believe I saw that tweet because you liked it. Yep.
Yeah.
Thanks, social media.
Yeah.
by the way,
Call them
Twitter is going-
Advent children. I'm just gonna be thinking about XCOM.
See, I'm just gonna be thinking about those calendars with the little chocolates in them.
Yeah.
But Sephiroth.
Twitter's been being super weird though. Like it's recommending me tweets that no one I know has liked or followed now.
That's the new feature, right? Is that Twitter is going to show you things that nobody likes.
And I'm just like,
which has actually been my Twitter experience for most of the last
have you been
10.
angry yet today?
Yeah. Here's a tweet nobody liked. It's for you.
I'm like, why are you? Because like I get when they recommend me like people you follow this person, or people you follow liked this thing. Like, okay. Like that's also new, but I understand it. But like nobody you follow liked this, but we're still recommending it to you. I'm just like,
yeah.
I saw people had made like, or were attempting to make Bowser 2.0 with this like Twitter bird sonar thing that's going around like briefly for about an hour last night.
Yeah, I saw like a tiny bit of that.
Like, but it's already died and it's really sad.
My favorite thing that has happened on social media recently is when something happens, people have opinions about it, and then it's over before I even get to look at it. Like that thing when they changed Instagram, everybody was mad about it for about an hour, and then I woke up and I was like, what's everybody mad about? Instagram's normal and fine. Like nothing is different. Like this is the speed at which the internet has problems with things now. So fast. So fast.
I was kind of hoping that 2019 would be like starting positive, but within 2 days it was a trash fire. So yeah. I'm just gonna ignore the negativity and pretend it didn't happen.
Yeah, that's fair. And besides, we're not here for the internet of 2019. We're here for Waterdeep of 1492. So let's get into it. Let's see. Let's find a dragon that has not yet been hoisted. I think it's 1492 in the Forgotten Realms.
I mean, I think that's when this guy sailed across the Sword Coast or something.
Yeah.
Colonized some shit. Terrible.
I claim this land for I mean, Mastic has been around for a while now, so I think it is 1492 though. So let's do the thing. Let's hoist some dragons. Let's play this game because I think last time we figured out what the various objects that you need to prevent your best buds from escaping with the thing. Now, we don't know where the vault is.
Yes.
But the suspicion is that they need, an adamantine bar, a bronze dragon scale, and
a doppelganger.
And a waitress? A disgruntled waitress, I think, was the third one.
Yeah, so we did talk to the blacksmiths, and they, I think, agreed to go along with it. And we talked to the disgruntled waitress, and she said maybe.
I tried to punch her in the face.
Yeah,
I seem to remember.
Blue Jay reduces a very complicated social situation down to talk to. There was a lot of chasing.
Hey, we at the end, it was a conversation. Okay, there was a conversation at the end.
Conflict.
After everything, there was a conversation where she said maybe, and that's the important part.
Yes.
Here.
Yes.
And then we were gonna try and get the Gond people to replicate the dragon scale, which we haven't done yet. Because if we give the fake dragon scale and the fake adamantine bar to the Castellanters, then they would take us to the place where that was our supposition.
As that we will then follow them to the location of the vault because they'll have everything that they need.
let's just go ahead and rediscuss the plan. So as it stands, the scheme, that's right. the plan, the counter heist. The plan is here that you currently have access to, like, you know about them making this bar.
Yeah.
You are better friends with and have at least managed to convince a little bit the two smiths.
Yes.
We've offered people a series of portions of a potentially infinite to
listen.
Rin
has been doing some thinking on her feet, man.
I have said many times to many people, you will have a fraction of the uncountable, unthinkable treasure.
Let's see here. We'll do
I
some,
have no authority over said treasure.
Yeah, we'll do some quick math. So if the amount of dragons in the vault is, let's call it X, right? And then you divide it by
I'm not doing math. I refuse.
The number of people you've promised
now.
to, which is like, I don't know, let's say 7. If X is any
Seven
number,
is way too many.
if X is any number, then fine. But what I'm wondering is, what do we do if this is the math there? How do we get
zero.
around that one?
They get 0.
They get nothing.
It's still a portion. It's just a portion of nothing.
Listen, okay. I only promised it to the waitress and to our blacksmith friends. That's it. Those are the only 2 I've had to promise them treasure.
Yeah.
The great thing about promising treasure is that I may never need to deliver.
We could just run away forever.
And that becomes the end. Right. And our end credits
That's why we go into the Dungeon of the Mad Mage, because we owe a lot of people a lot of money.
Later, bye.
Right, in the middle of the night, just like,
us now, nerds.
we're just gonna go hide out in Skullport because we owe some people a lot of money.
That's why people go down there in the first place. Come on, like,
we either die and then we don't owe anyone anything, or we become powerful enough that when we come out, we just kill the gods forever.
I was gonna say this. I can completely see this turning into a situation where Macaria gets a bunch of corpses and puts them in Troll Skull Manor. You make a little fake 8, burn the place down for the insurance money, and then run away to Skullport.
What insurance money?
Our other thought is we're gonna just turn this into the producers.
Yeah.
We're just gonna sell more shares of treasure than there is treasure, and then hope that nobody comes to ask for it.
It's springtime for Manchun. So, like, you've got a lead on all of this stuff, but the only thing you're missing right now is that using the Stone of Galore, the Castellanters either now know or will soon know the location of the vault.
Yes.
You're both on a timer waiting for the bar, which will be ready in 4 days. It is Flame Rule. I guess it'll be Flame Rule 8 right now. So in 4 days that bar will be ready. So you have 4 days to plan, skulk. I don't know. Figure out what you want to do.
My thought is that 8 goes to the Temple of Gond and tries to get them to replicate the dragon scale.
Jewel will probably just continue to plan on watching the castle lanterns in case anyone leaves. She can try and follow them. Maybe they'll manage to head them off before they.
I'm like letting you
know
about
the location before they get all of the stuff. In which case, then cool.
As a bit of out of character, I'm letting you know that I've seen somebody in a cherry picker approach the power lines outside my house. So if I disappear,
if Macaria just evaporates suddenly. All right,
so
we'll keep that in mind.
My plan, Adam, for this 4 days is to try and convince the raven that lives in our house to follow whatever caravan or whatever like carriage comes with to get the bar, right? And then that'll go back to wherever the vault is because they got to take the stuff to the vault, which they presumably know the entrance to, but we might lose track of the carriage. It's possible.
Right? As like a backup, right? As a backup member of the. So, what percentage of the gold are you going to promise the ravens?
A bunch of it.
It can look at your share.
A handful.
I've got a question.
Yes.
It's a plan question. It's not a game question. I already know all the answers to those ones.
Perfect. Good.
It's just to everybody except you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
When we get this fake dragon scale, how are we going to get it into the possession of the Castellanters in a way that is convincing
I will
I see-
drunkenly.
I would say I see a disguise. I see a
drunkenly
disguise
brag
kit
about it
coming
in the
up.
bar.
Drunkenly brag about it in the bar. That's a great move.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna try
because
and-
they already know we're after them and we're following them. They know that. Like, so I will just drunkenly brag that we found a dragon scale.
So the thing
And then how
about
you do it?
the thing about drunkenly bragging that you have something that like a suspected devil cult wants is that you're probably going to get shanked in an alley for
That
it.
is the problem, isn't it?
I mean, but if someone tries to shank us, we've
could
got 8.
you? Here's the question: could you convince Floon to drunkenly brag about it?
I was gonna say, why don't we just have anyone who's not our
So
cleric
mean.
drunkenly brag about it, so they get shanked in the alley, and then she resurrects us.
I mean, you've already used me as bait before.
So okay, so either you're going to let Floon take the fall, like, hey Floon, I made you this necklace out of a bronze dragon scale.
You could just you could be really inept, right? Like you drunkenly brag about it, leave it on a table, like get up to go get another drink because you're Makara, and then they just steal it out from under you.
Or you could gift it to Floon and then know he'll brag about it himself.
And then he gets shanked in the alleyway.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would love that.
This is that's too many steps. That's too many steps and too many opportunities for it.
We could plant it on a scholar that's going into their house.
Then they'd just be like, "Why is
Wait,
this?
yeah.
So, where did you find this? Like, did
I still think drunkenly bragging about it is the most movie thing that we could do. So obviously we should do that.
I mean,
I have a great.
we have a better plan.
I have a great performance check. I can happily brag about it in a public space. And
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you're
Okay.
gonna
But
be like,
you're
you
even
got-
more ranged than I am.
I mean, yeah, but I'm not.
At least I
planning-
have a fighting chance if someone comes at me in an alley.
I'm not really planning to fight.
I believe
them. I'm
Rena's
planning
looking for a
you to
running
heal-
chance.
I'm looking for you to heal me when you get.
I mean, if that's the case, then Jewel should be the one because she runs really fast.
That's true.
It's true. She does run really fast.
But you're not allowed to run away. The point is they have to think they've
The
succeeded.
point is they're supposed to successfully get the scale off of you.
Yeah,
they're
and
supposed to
Jewel
stand
is not the best
So
performer.
Who is up for being killed in the name?
I think it's
Yeah.
I
right.
think the
Well, I think-
Makaria is the one that's most up for being killed.
I still think.
Okay.
Roll another character while we do like this scene.
You can't ablate characters for the sake of the game.
I still
So-
think Floon is the best choice, personally.
So let's talk about stage 1 of the plan here. You need to get a fake
Temple of Gond.
You need a fake dragon scale so that you can give it to the Castellaners by whatever means. And then they, thinking they have the correct objects, will lead you to the vault.
Oh my god, I would need to find out a way to like fake die. That'd
Just
be great.
let's hold on to the
It's
fake dying
Temple
bit.
of Gond.
Yeah.
Why don't I get them to make a dragon scale with a tracking device in it?
Oh my
I'm
god, that would be
sure
so
Could
good.
certainly try.
Or I can try that.
Key it to the thingamajig we have that tracks.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I wasn't with you until the part where you were like, "Wait, make one that has the same magical signature as a
Nimblewright.
Nimblewright, and then you can use the tracker to
Yeah, use
follow
the
them."
Nimblewright
That's
tracker.
okay. That's actually really smart.
To bloopity bloop.
Because like
Oh.
we're still planning on following them, but worst case scenario, we lose them. We'll probably still be within 500 feet, so it'll still work.
It's good. It's good. Good contingency plan. Okay. All right.
Yes.
Okay. So to create.
Just like we still need to.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This
And
is
then-
the motion for planning.
That's the plan motion.
It was
Yeah. Okay. Okay. And then
Damn it, we're only level 2 spells. I don't have Feign Death yet.
yeah. And then you
It's
want a fake bar of adamantine, right? That was the plan. They were going to make a fake bar for you instead of
Yeah, we sorted that one out already.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that we would scoop the real one so that we could use it to open.
Right. Yes, that's right. Okay. Cool.
Okay.
Got it. Okay. Sure. All right. So let's begin then with 8. Do you go to the Temple of Gond by yourself, or now? I'll tell you, the last time you were at the Temple of Gond it wasn't all that pleasant, right? The last time you were there was you were letting them like examine you in exchange for, and so you were subjected to like a bunch of unpleasant tests and like magical whatever. It's not like it doesn't hurt you or anything, but it wasn't fun. It was very dehumanizing you, and they treated you like an object. So if you're gonna go back, just something to be aware of. I have a little clock I'm filling in for Gond's understanding of your species. But you also know that that's something they want. They want more time to be able to examine you.
All right. So, well, I was much more into the plan. 8 seems very dejected about it, and he probably will ask Rin to go with them.
Okay. Yeah.
Because they are really, really bad at talking to people.
Okay.
Like 4 charisma. Sometimes I forget that I have
Yeah.
4.
Not even modifier, just number.
You're one of those characters that we as an audience like, but that no one in the world does.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So 8 and Rin, this would be, I guess, then the morning of Flame Roll 9. So the 9th of Flame Roll, it is the day after a big festival, right? Everybody, and actually you're probably still up. You've come home from the party with
I went to the party, didn't I?
Yeah.
No one else got invited.
So maybe that's the scene, right? Is it's morning, Rin, you're up making breakfast or something, and 8 comes back from a revel from Lyra's night, and 8 is covered in like confetti, and there's like streamers hanging off of him. He's been painted in various bright colors. And 8 returns to the house after the party.
Like look up as the door opens, sort of like fun evening.
I believe so.
Well, we have
not normally a thing.
Well, as fun as it may have been, we do have a bit of a schedule to keep plan-wise.
Oh, not those again. Not them. Do I have to?
Yes, we do have to go there. If they can replicate something that looks like a bronze dragon scale, but also registers with this, and I like pull out the nimble ride tracker, then we'll easily be able to follow where they take it. And thus, hopefully, find the location of the vault.
Yes. Then we need to work out how the... Fine, we'll do this first. There's no use worrying about planting it or transferring it if we don't have it.
Yeah, that is what I thought as well. Get the object, then worry about how we're going to put it somewhere else.
I really want to. Part of this plan is going to need to... Someone is going to pay for this.
Pay for which?
The humiliation. I will kill someone. Not now.
Let's not make it in the Temple of God. All right.
No. They're going to make me weapons. I've decided. That will be their repayment.
Okay. Then where is the humiliation coming from?
What? You think they take parts off me, see the parts inside that are supposed to be secret? It's not nice.
No, experimentation very much usually is not.
No.
They're seeing something they've never seen before. And if there's one thing I can tell you, it's that people who think that they're very smart, especially mages of any kind, like to know about things that they don't already know. So we'll have to ablate their curiosity with something while we make up this deal for the fake dragon scale. Now, I understand that that's maybe not fun for you, and I sympathize, but maybe necessary. Just don't kill anyone at the Temple of Gond, and we'll call it a success.
Yes.
Let me do the talking, obviously.
Can we gesture to all the paint and stuff? This is done now. The bath. Yes, the bath. Starts stomping upstairs to
All right, I'll give you some time to clean up.
Okay. All right. So you go upstairs.
Bang, 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 bang. I need a bath.
Then go fucking jump in the bay. I don't care.
No, I need the bath. It's too far away. We have time commitments.
I think that there's like a shuffling, and then Makaria, with her, she thinks it's good, but it's bad hair, comes to the door.
How do you do this?
She like looks you up and down because you're still wearing the fucking.
Yeah, they are covered in like a brightly colored paint and pink and purple like streamers, and there's like flowers painted on their face.
Ugh. You look awful.
You're just jealous. You didn't get invited.
I wouldn't want to go to a stupid party where people were happy. You won't fit in the bath.
You do not just dump the bath on your head?
No.
Let's do that.
Just okay.
Clean me.
Does anyone know how to? We have like running. Because would you have running water?
Some people would. You probably would not.
So like, how would we? Like, is there a well? Can we just dump 8 in the well?
No, 8 would not fit in the well.
We presumably have like a hand pump somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
like outside.
in the kitchen.
Yeah, there'd be like a communal like courtyard where you could like get water from.
Okay. Rin.
Yes.
Where's your servant? The invisible servant.
You want me to send Alistair?
Yes, that thing.
You realize that he can't be more than 60 feet from me at any time.
Well,
right?
then you'll have to be around too.
Fine. I'll be back in a moment.
I'm not some handmaiden here to bathe you.
There's like this
down to the pump or whatever.
You can hear downstairs Rin just like grumbling and like moving stuff around, like grabbing her cloak, and there's a brief incantation, and then she's like, Alistair, come with me, and like goes out.
So 8 is going from being like bathed in a bathtub to being taken out back and hosed down like a truck.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Telling. Okay.
I was gonna go get water. Was my plan, and
No, I'm assuming that Hallister is like fill the thing, dump it over 8, fill the thing.
It
like
certainly would be more. It certainly would be more
Fantasia.
effective. Yep, than having to bring it all the way upstairs.
It's like the Fantasia brooms, you know, just like whoop, whoop, just over and over again.
Okay, so we crossfade to the back like the communal area where the well is, and it's still early and nobody's really up, so you're kind of out there at dawn. It's warm enough. Makaria is still in her pajamas, and 8 is standing by the well as the unseen servant
I am
dumps.
also standing by the well, but like with my arms crossed underneath my cloak, just like watching.
Yeah, and so 8 is having buckets of water dumped over them, and then they're being scrubbed clean by the invisible servant.
So instead of giving them like a sponge or like a loofah or whatever you use, just give them like a whetstone to just like rub over and
just polish you up. Perfect.
And then as soon as 8 is clean, I'm like, well, while your unseen servant is here, can you haul some water up to my bath?
No, we need to go now.
No, we have things to do, actually.
You don't.
Here, look. Alistair, do whatever she tells you for the next hour. And then I just start walking away, you know?
Okay.
Oh, no.
Because the 60-foot leash will eventually catch and he will just disappear.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
What I'm hoping is that
Hurry.
we'll get halfway through getting a bucket up the stairs, and then.
I mean, 60 feet isn't very far, so you can wait.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
He spills it all over the bar downstairs.
Okay. All right. See, Jewel has it easy. Jewel doesn't need any of this business. You can just lick yourself clean, problem solved.
It's real gross.
Can you imagine, like, with a human-sized tongue trying to lick clean an entire, like, cat body? That,
I mean, cats have tiny tongues.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched them try and clean themselves? It's real sad.
I mean, I'm assuming that they just don't do a very good job.
Jewel is just
Like,
a lot
you got
more.
the short end of that nature stick.
Jewel is just a lot more flexible than you are,
Yeah.
so it's fine. Okay. All right. So 8, you've
I'd say
been
she just doesn't bathe because she has fur.
you've been polished and waxed, and you're ready to go to the Temple of Gond all shiny. And so the two of you, Rin and 8, you leave the alley and head west towards the temple. And the city is in a state of post revel slumber. It's still very early in the morning. There is still kind of a haze in the air. It's starting to warm up, but there are discarded, paper mache images of the gods laying about. There's trash in the streets, but there's a sense of calm, of peace after a night of partying. And so you head to the temple, and when you get there, it is already in. It's already in full operation. There is steam rising from the various pipes from the back of the hall, and folks have, in varying degrees of hungoverness, have started to occupy the plaza outside of the House of Inspired Hands. So we see its shining dome up before you, and 8. You see the familiar shape of this place and its priests coming and going. Now, is there any indication that 8 feels uneasy about this, or are you just kind of like approaching stolidly?
Normally, there are like 3 colors of light that come out of from behind 8's faceplate, and you got red for being angry or fighting, the normal color, which is blue, and green is like the kind of rare one that's a catch-all for like being confused or being wary or whatever. So I think it's green. It's unusual in this context. You would probably pick up that it's like trepidation or whatever.
Yeah, I think, Rin is sensitive to that, in that there are plenty of things she herself is nervous of and so on. So while we're walking, there's probably a little bit of like back and forth between them. Like Rin probably opens it up with like, if you're actually this nervous, I can go in by myself. It's not a problem.
Well, they're going to need me. They can't examine you. They know what is inside you.
No, but I can bargain for something else if you'd rather not be examined, is what I'm saying.
I do not believe that we have anything that is valuable to them to enlist the service.
Gold is valuable to everyone, 8, and we are going to have a lot of it should we be successful. Not to mention, they're inventors. They love making stupid things.
I do not think we know them well enough that we can give them the promise of gold yet. That only worked on people that you had a connection to. They are an entity.
You're right. I had such a big connection with that doppelganger girl we almost murdered. But besides the point, what I'm saying is do this of your own volition, not because I'm telling you to. I wouldn't want to ever put you in a situation that you didn't want to be in.
It turns and goes blue. I appreciate the sentiment. I wouldn't let you, but I appreciate the sentiment.
I understand that you wouldn't. And, well, these things are sometimes unpleasant and unavoidable.
I've invested far too much energy in the group of you. to kill you over something so minor as this.
Well, I appreciate that. So I just like a
Yeah.
All right.
Good. Glad we cleared that up.
Good. Yeah. Continue on our way.
Okay. All right. So you want to go in and talk to Valletta? She's been your contact.
Yeah, Valletta.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you come in and you ask for her, and you are taken to her office, and she's not there. So like one of the lower acolytes, one of the assistants is like, oh, you can wait for Priestess Valletta here. She'll be right in, and they leave. And so you're in her office, and it's a cluttered space, as with many sort of like Gondish private spaces. The clutter is a form of worship, right? Having like a million half-finished projects all kind of laying about, because you never know when inspiration will strike, and when something you abandoned yesterday might suddenly be of interest or value to you today. So there's all these like doodads and gizmos all over the place. And on one wall, it looks like a bunch of stuff has been cleared away and like pushed aside, and there are diagrams of what you realize, Rin, to be components of 8. You can see like analysis of how how their muscle structure works, some kind of preliminary understanding of their plating. Nothing that's like, here's how we make them better, but like right now just kind of like early understanding of how they work. Some sort of Vitruvian Man stuff, but for robot people. And so the two of you have a moment in the office where you notice this before Valletta arrives.
Well, it looks like they've been hard at work. I say, like, sort of gesturing towards the schematics.
I was given to believe that the core was the most complicated part. I don't think your people having the knowledge of artificial limbs is going to cause that much problem.
No.
Soon.
Well, I mean, I don't know. We'll see. Sometimes people are smarter than you give them credit for. Sometimes far smarter than you should have given them credit for. And we'll see if there are more of your kind walking around soon after this. But I'm hoping, no offense to you, but I'm hoping not.
It went badly for them last. We hoped it would. I'm not sure how successful we. And then that's when I probably get interrupted.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, the door opens, and Valletta comes in, and she's carrying a stack of books under one arm, and in her hand she has a complicated kind of oversized like stein, maybe with like a closure on top and a tiny little like steam engine like running on it. So she's got this brass and like wood like mug thing, and it's giving off an unusual kind of rich smell. And she comes in and she sees you and looks over her glasses at you. And for folks who have not seen this character before, for a reminder, Valletta is a priestess of Gond. So she dresses in fairly simple robes. She's got the sleeves pinned up so that she can work. She is a bronze dragonborn. And she's kind of in her, like if she were human, she'd be like in her mid 40s, I think. And she normally wears glasses. They're like reading glasses. And she's got them sort of perched on the end of her little dragonborn face. And she sees you, and her lips peel back in a draconic smile, and she says, 8, Rin. Nice to see the two of you again. And she kind of maneuvers past you to her desk, and she drops the books that she was reading, and she goes to set the mug down, and it grows little like metal legs like snap out from the bottom of it, and she sets it down, and it kind of like moves around on the desk until it's level and then sits still. And she says, most people in the city aren't awake yet. Did you not enjoy the festivities yesterday?
Well, 8 was very busy, but I decided to just sleep in.
And she nods.
I'm not really one for crowded, busy spaces, and just a lot of touching. Not really my thing.
Yes. The social sciences don't particularly interest me either. And to what do I owe this visit? 8, have you come to continue our research?
Well, I was actually hoping you might help us out with something. The Temple of Gond might help us out with something. We are looking for an invention to be made, something specific. We have, and I take the bronze dragon scale out that we have. Yeah, we have a bronze dragon scale here that some very important people, very dangerous people are looking for. And I'm hoping that with your help, we can trick them into taking something very similar that we can then track. My thought, I say, tucking the scale away again, was that you could make something that looks the same on the outside, but perhaps shares a signature with the Nimblewrights, so that I could use the tracker that Nim gave me to follow the object to where it ends up.
I don't know. The House of Inspired Hands, we're not counterfeiters. Are you sure you're not looking for the Priesthood of Mask? Or Cyric, maybe?
It's not a counterfeit. It's a new thing entirely. It's a device that can be tracked by a Nimblewright tracker that isn't a Nimblewright. You could plant this on anyone, and it would be a great invention. How it looks is irrelevant. For me, it's a little relevant, but in general, the idea is sound.
Form follows function. You can't just make something that looks any old way to fill a purpose. I mean, people think that things in the temple, the things that we build, look the way they do because of some random whim. But that's not how it is. Inspiration requires aesthetic as well. And what you're describing, it sounds... Well, I mean, it's not anything any of us have ever built before. At least, not anything that's widely available. Tracking devices, certainly. It's important to keep tabs on things, valuable things, lest they go missing. But this sounds like trickery, not invention.
Well, it is invention with the purpose of trickery, yes.
I don't know.
Followed, of course, by the... well, I'll give you all the details of how it works, and I don't really know, right? I was hoping that you would be able to do this for me in exchange for something. And I know that 8 has been working very closely with you, and that you wish to continue working closely with 8. And that, well, you know, their visits here are not always so pleasant for them. So recompense is appreciated, and this would more than cover it.
It was my impression, and she looks at you, 8, that we would be compensating you for your participation in our research as we have before. And now you're coming to me to say that, what, if we don't help you, then you're going to take my research subject away? Is that it?
I don't have the power to do that. 8 is their own person, and they do as they wish. But I'm much better at expressing things with words than 8 is, and they've shown to me that some of what you have been looking at has been uncomfortable for them. That's all.
Discovery is often unpleasant.
Oh, I agree entirely, obviously. But discomfort should come with reward.
I thought we already had a deal. And she looks at you, 8, when she says that. Because you haven't said anything yet.
No. I was thinking about this.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I could be holding in terms of knowledge as a trump card that I could use in this kind of situation, because I don't know how much I would know about my own construction.
Yeah, totally. Like and that's the thing too, is like you're looking at these diagrams and you don't, like, they know more already about how you function than you do. Because like a patient with a doctor, like you're the one with the organs, but the doctor is the one that's like, well, this is how your lungs work, and you need to do this thing to make it work better, right? Like there's a degree of self-awareness that is coming from this process too.
as much as I was looking forward to armaments, things for my own enjoyment, I am willing to sacrifice those to help my friends. We could renegotiate something else for the improvements. Perhaps. I can't think of it. Can't think of what it should be.
Yeah, right? Like you're in this position where, and I think this is cool because for 8, like most of the time it's just like go where you're told to go, kill who you're told to kill, and do your job. Just be a soldier. But now you have this sudden authority over like yourself, kind of, and like they're both kind of talking like about you as a like a commodity, but also like now they've turned their attention to you, and you're sort of at a loss, right? So the screen goes green, and Valletta turns when you seem to be at a loss. Valletta turns back to Rin, and says, "Well, your request is unorthodox, but perhaps we could come to some kind of arrangement. I've been working on some very interesting theories regarding our friend here, and if I could have dedicated access to them, say a few days, then
I look over at 8 like you're negotiating with the wrong person for 8's time, sort of thing.
Yeah, they don't follow your look over to 8.
As I said, I don't speak for 8's agreement or disagreement in anything. 8 is their own person, and they will make their own decisions based on what they want to do. But I'd be more than happy to make a deal, whatever deal we can come to.
If you're not here to speak for them, then why are you here, Rin?
Because without me here, 8 might feel uncomfortable in the situation, talking just for themselves. I am moral support.
I assure you, 8 has no reason to feel uncomfortable here in the Temple of Gond. We have nothing but respect for their craftsmanship and continued well-being.
I'm not trying to insult you or say anything about the way that you've done anything. But what I do understand is that sometimes feelings are not rational. Sometimes things do not work in the way that the should or could or might sort of works out. And 8 asked me to come, so I came.
I will do it.
There you are.
Well, that is interesting. I think 2 days ought to do it. So 8 will stay with us.
I look at 8 like we can spare that much time.
8 will stay with us and allow themselves to be subjected to our tests. We'll gather the information that we require, and when you return to pick them up, I'll have your false dragon scale for you. I'm sure I can have an acolyte craft one.
Well, wonderful. This all sits well with you, or well enough, 8? And like a little hesitantly, Rin sort of gets up like, I don't know about this, but, and like goes to leave basically, because that's it. Like she doesn't need to be there anymore. And she turns to 8 before she leaves and goes, if you need me for any reason, you know where I'll be. I don't plan on venturing around too far. My job is going to be planning.
I do.
And then I'm out of there.
Okay. Good. So as you're leaving, we stay just for a moment with Valletta and 8, and Valletta, I think Valletta calls in like an acolyte that comes past you, like one of her assistants, and she says, she's like, everything I had to do for the next 2 days, rituals, meetings, clear all of it. I'm going to need a team. we're going to be staying up quite late, I think. And fetch someone from metallurgy. I have a project for them. And the acolyte is like, yes, ma'am, and like dashes off past you as you leave, Rin. So I think we'll fade out there. And so for the next a couple of days, 8 will be with the House of Inspired Hands, getting poked and prodded and diagrammed and scanned and what have you. And we'll see what everybody else wants to get up to in terms of skullduggery and subterfuge when we get back. So stick around. We'll be right back with more.